This was the design of the bodice on the tailor's dummy that I did before I made the pattern. And this is our final product, how it turned out. So tune in to see how I sew this dress. I started off joining the front pieces. Well, there was 2 pieces on each side, very asymmetrical if you look at the design on the dummy. So it naturally gives Earth the bust shape after sewing, so you know that you've done the correct pattern when you're sewing a bust cap dress or a bustier. That this is now the other side of the front part of the bodice. I took out the lining for each piece and joined them exactly as you've done to the fabric pieces. Now we return to attach the lining sub-piece to the fabric piece. Finish long side inwards. I also went ahead and understitched the lining so that it falls flat to the garment. dress. Join the first side of the back and then the other side of the back. There you have it, folks. 2 sides of the back pieces now done. To cut the lining pieces and do the exact same thing. I prefer to sew my dress process by process so that it makes more sense than just doing the entire thing all together. Attach the lining pieces to the fabric pieces, right side spacing before turning over and under stitching. I also went ahead to press the pieces like I'd done earlier before on the front pieces, so that it gives you a better shape while still sewing, and it also helps you to avoid mistakes in the areas. Now it's time to join the front pieces and the back pieces together. So each side front is going to be joined to the side seam of each back piece, so you don't confuse this process. There you go. Now I first sew a straight skirt, a single straight skirt, but had to take another piece of fabric and then gather it in order to make the bubble. You take times 3 the size of your straight skirt, a piece of fabric, and then you just gather on both sides, the top and the bottom. I adjusted my stitch size on the sewing machine, so it was just gathering on its own. So there is the straight skirt, and now I push the gathered piece on top of the straight skirt, adjusting the gathers well so they fit perfectly well onto the straight skirt, which is going to be the inner layer, while the gathered skirt is going to be the outer layer of our bubble skirt. Readjust the machine size to the correct normal stitching size, and then stitch the outer skirt to the inner skirt, which is, in other words, the gathered skirt to the straight skirt, to form what we call the bubble skirt. You're gonna stitch on both sides, the top side and the bottom side, and it's gonna give a beautiful effect bubble. There, and I'll push the dress on the mannequin to match the center seam, and I stitched the center seam by hand because it's just a difficult process for me to do straight away on the machine by pins. So I used the dummy to support and sew the waist seam by hand before going on to stitch onto the sewing machine, so that I didn't make any errors. Went on to attach a detail. I got the detail in front of the dress, and I hand stitched it to the dress because that's just how it's done. You can't machine sew additional attachments onto the dress. Here is the dress. Come out nice. It's a simple